Am I up? Let's see. Okay. So, still at 60. I'm, one sec. I need to fix this.
Not enough rage.
Better?
I can't.
This is me right now.
Not
I'm not dead, but as you can see, I'm moving at a super slow pace. Although it's I'm cooking it good.
That ability isn't ready yet.
I've
Not
been
ready yet.
doing some
That
testing.
ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet.
I don't know, I got a lot of recipes, some that I cannot use yet. I got like a full line of recipes that I will not be able to use until 275 skill.
Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready
And
yet.
a bunch of good ones, to be honest.
I can't do that.
I got some armored made friend. I think I showed this actually. I might have, I don't know. I got this. I was hoping I would farm a reputation and kind of stream that, but I didn't. I was lazy. I'm sorry. I was on a vacation, so
Not ready yet. I can't do that yet. Not ready yet.
you know, I was just hanging around mostly.
Isn't ready yet.
And yeah, I do this. I used to be a little bit richer, but I haven't learned spells since forever, so I had to like throw 30 gold just for spells, which was devastating. I had almost 160 gold. I didn't even buy a mount. Can you believe that?
I can't do that yet.
So I'm rocking, like, look at this. Oh my god.
Can't do that yet.
I literally got this today,
Ready yet. I don't have a target.
and I went to Blasted Lands to quest a bit, since I saw that I know a good quest line from regular WoW that I do for my raids. As you can see, I already have one of the buffs. Here's another one, and I used the agility up, I think, or maybe I haven't. I'm just not seeing it. Maybe I have. I don't know. I think I perhaps did a mistake,
Need more rage.
or I'm just not
Need
seeing
more
it. I don't
rage.
know.
I can't
It's
do that.
yellow, so
Not ready
it's
yet.
like a yellow
That
powder.
ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. Not ready
I don't
yet.
know. I might like
Can't do
notice
that
it
yet.
later.
That ability isn't
I'm sorry,
ready
I'm a bit
yet. I
stupid.
can't do that yet.
Uh,
Not ready yet. I need a target.
but yeah, it's not bad. It could be better, to be honest. I would like if I like did the reputation and got, where is it? Which one is it? Is it Magran? Yeah. So I wanted this two, to wear these two. Or preferably to have like one from Moradon, and then like have this dagger and have this thing. But yeah, I just didn't do it. I could also get something else here, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I could have also got, like, people went for this. A lot of people. Some people still wear it at 60.
Not ready yet.
So
That ability isn't ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. I can't do that yet.
I pretty
Not
much
ready yet.
chugged
I can't
this
do
one.
that yet.
I'll show you.
I need to get
I
closer.
just want to be really
That
efficient.
ability isn't ready yet.
I'm kind of what?
Not enough rage. Not ready yet. I don't have a target.
Falling behind with my friends, so he's catching up, and I'm trying
That
to like
ability isn't ready yet. Not
at
enough
least not fall
rage.
behind
Need
too
more
far,
rage.
because he's probably gonna gain 60 before me, so I kind of wanna
That
be there.
ability isn't ready yet.
But yeah, as you can see, I'm like, this is my gameplay. It's pretty lame,
Can't
I
do
know.
that yet.
I have a battery, I've gotten that. I was fishing like a degenerate. I even got still got like eels. Um, but I stopped that so I can
Ready
like
yet.
level.
I can't do that yet.
Even though I
Not ready
plan
yet.
to like
I can't do
do
that yet.
another
That
tornado.
ability isn't ready yet.
Uh, anyway, yeah, I
I
got
don't have a
a lot of
target.
like
I don't have a target.
people help me. Uh, this guild is really cool.
I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet.
So
I can't do that
Daryl is
yet.
doing pretty fine.
That
Like
ability isn't ready
everybody
yet.
almost even forgot about the
I
lawsuit
can't
and
do that
everything.
yet. That ability isn't
So I
ready
think
yet.
it was just like an attempt to scare us or something. I don't know. Like nothing is happening. I think they scared like some people because some people were like, "Oh, it's not worth playing here because it's gonna like shut down eventually." So they left. Uh, but I don't care. I mean, this is the version that I'm very much used to at this point. Like, I cannot imagine playing on a different type of WoW,
Not ready yet.
especially
Need
because
more
of the
rage.
changes to the
Need more
items.
rage. Need more
Like, I
rage.
cannot go
That
back to the
ability isn't ready
broken
yet. That
zero
ability isn't ready
zero
yet.
point 0.5, you know,
That
and
ability
everything
isn't
like.
ready yet. I can't do that yet. I can't
Like,
do
I
that
mean,
yet.
I'll
Need a
probably
target.
like, I don't know, about hardcore. I'm very like
I can't do
still,
that yet.
I guess, thinking about like what is my end
I
goal
can't
gonna
do
be.
that yet.
You see, I can go like
Can't do
this,
that
but
yet.
it's very risky because then I don't have the potion, so
That ability isn't ready yet.
I lose my
Need more
sickness potion.
rage.
So this can pretty much make me
Need
die.
more rage. Not enough rage. Need more
So
rage.
this is like my
Not enough rage.
adrenaline spike
That
a
ability
bit
isn't ready
when
yet.
I chug
Need more
this one.
rage.
It's like
Need more rage.
two
Not ready
targets,
yet.
not full
Need more
HP,
rage.
stuff like that.
I need a target.
Because I don't have like an escape route. Like it would be. I mean, in the end, if they like got me to like 1k, I would have to see if I can finish
I
them
can't do
and
that. Not enough
eventually like
rage.
escape with
Need
low
more
HP,
rage. Not ready yet.
or
Not
one
ready
sec, I
yet.
charge.
Need
It's
more
okay.
rage.
Uh, I mean escape with like little
Can't
HP,
do that
or
yet.
like wait for some
I
rage and
can't do
fear
that
them,
yet.
and then just free run.
Not ready
I don't
yet.
know, into the water. I
That
know
ability
there's a
isn't ready yet.
stealthed panther there, and this part is no go. If I was friendly, but there's a goblin inside Booty Bay that makes me friendly with these guys, but I was kind of scared. I've never done that. I didn't want to like suddenly have Booty Bay against me or something if I befriended the pirates, so I'm completely clueless about that
Not
one.
ready yet.
What is happening? Okay.
Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I
I
can't do
hope I'll
that
be
yet.
able
That
to
ability
keep
isn't ready yet.
streaming on YouTube.
I have a target.
Like uh if not, I don't know. I might like actually advertise because I don't advertise my streams, so they're very small. But I like the layout of YouTube, and I've always been on YouTube. But if I'm like not allowed to do that, Uh, I don't know. I'll find an alternative, but I'll definitely like campaign my streams more aggressively, I guess, with advertisements. Like I'll start advertising them on Discord and all the places,
I can't do
which
that
I
yet.
don't do now. I just like
Not ready yet.
chill by
I
myself
can't
mostly
do that yet. I can't do that
and
yet.
make like an archive
Not
so I
ready
can
yet.
look at it. Because sometimes I go back to
I
like
can't do
old
that yet.
streams and like listen to some conversations. Like I can like check out the WODs pretty much, which is the most useful things I've gotten like such good stuff from like old WODs, like some fights, what went wrong. Some people after a while say like, "Oh, that fight, oh no, that's not how it happened," and then I like pull the WOD out of nowhere, and they don't know because I
Not
don't
enough rage.
advertise.
Not ready yet. Need more rage. I can't do that
So
yet.
yeah,
Need more
kind of low key.
Not ready yet. Need more rage. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. I need a target. Not ready yet. Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet.
But my current plan is to make a backup somehow. I don't know how to do that.
That
I will need
ability
to
isn't
consult
ready
with my
yet.
friend. Uh, I know how to do it like hard mode, like download all the content and then like
Not ready yet. I can't do
mm,
that yet.
what is it, like re-upload that somewhere else and store it inside the portable device, I guess.
Not enough
But
rage. Not
that
enough
is like super
rage.
hard. I would rather have like a
Need more
Google
rage.
Docs either, or have like an archived channel with like what is it, unlisted or
I can't do that yet.
private
I can't do
videos.
that yet.
I guess YouTube doesn't mind those very much. Ah, my
That
pinky
ability
is.
isn't ready yet. I can't do that yet. I need a target.
Anyway, Warrior is really cool, especially the later levels. What happened? The Ginga. Uh, okay, I need to eat. I mean, I guess I'll eat. Sometimes I like to preserve my food and just sit, but I have consumables active. Mm. Should I play something like I usually do? Play videos or something and we listen to it together if somebody's watching, and I'll just kill mobs until I'm 53. I was thinking, I think next level they're gonna be green. Are there 51s here? I forgot. Only 50s, maybe, like.
Not ready yet. Need more rage.
So it seems though.
Not enough rage.
Anyway,
That ability
they'll be
isn't ready
green,
yet.
but I know for a fact I've been here with my 59 and they were still green. So there's a slight possibility that I can get level 60 here even. But it will be like
That
what is it?
ability isn't ready yet.
It will be super pain, yes, to be
I
honest.
can't do that yet. I can't do that yet.
I'll drink it.
I can't do that yet.
It's okay
I
now.
can't do that yet.
This
Not
one
ready
is
yet.
not
That ability isn't ready yet.
like a scary situation.
Not ready yet.
if you're fighting more than 2 mobs and one isn't taking your overpower, it means that the other dodged. So you just tap and do the other overpower. It's not a bug, it's just the other mob dodged.
I can't do that.
And the overpower is very precise with that.
Not enough rage. Not enough rage. I can't do that yet. That ability isn't ready yet.
I've seen a new video pop up from Scary Interesting. So I think I'll play that one. Oh, this is an old video. Let me see. Oh no, actually it's not really old. Okay. Scary Intro. I turn off my mic so we can listen together. Maybe I'll turn on my mic back so I can yap a little bit more. I hope I can just get within an hour to here maybe. Let's see. Let's like speedrun it, okay? Playing the video and I'm like locking in mic off.
I need to get close.
Stake and then tragically drowns as a result, which, don't get me wrong, many of the diving videos on this channel focus on tragedies caused by human error. A diver goes into the water, makes a mistake, and then tragically drowns as a result, which, don't get me wrong, is horrifying. But for many, the far scarier reality is coming face to face with something else in the water. Something you can't control and something you can't stop. So in this video, we'll look at several terrifying incidents where people discovered they weren't alone. As always, viewer discretion is strongly advised. In early October of 2024, in the waters near Timor-Leste, which is a country north of the Australian coast, a fisherman noticed something strange. A large shark ahead of his boat was behaving oddly. It was sluggish, like it was sick or injured. It wasn't swimming the way a healthy predator should, so thinking it might have swallowed plastic or gotten tangled in a net and was dying, the fisherman killed the animal and hauled it on board. Once he got it to land, he opened its belly to figure out what might have been going on, expecting to find a bunch of ocean garbage inside. What he found most certainly wasn't trash, though. Inside the shark's stomach were human remains. They appeared to come from a woman's body still wearing a black wetsuit and swimsuit. Then alongside it were other bits of diving gear. Word spread fast afterward and local officials got involved quickly, hoping to get to the bottom whether this was a shark attack, a tragic accident, or something else entirely. For anyone into diving or the ocean, it was supposed to be the trip of a lifetime. Colleen and her husband Mike were just getting started on a 7-week diving excursion through some of the most remote and pristine waters in the world. They had it all planned out, and when the time came to get things started, they could hardly believe it had finally arrived. At 68 years old, Colleen was no rookie either. She was a deeply experienced scuba diver. On September 26, 2024, she joined a small group that included Mike and 5 other friends diving off Pulau Rang, which is a tiny island in Indonesia's archipelago. The dive got underway just like any other. They weren't far from the boat and maybe about 23 feet or 7 meters below the surface. The water was crystal clear, and while there was a current, it was considered manageable. It was looking like it was going to be just another dreamlike day for the pair of diving enthusiasts, but as can happen even in the best conditions, things changed with little warning. The current shifted and Colleen started to break away from the group. The rest of the divers turned to adjust course, trying to avoid what looked like a downward current, which is essentially a vertical river underwater that can pull a diver deeper without warning. It's not unheard of in those waters, and the dive guide reacted quickly, but as the others regrouped, Colleen was gone. And while the dive guide tried his best to find her, he couldn't. In a matter of minutes, she had vanished into the current. What followed was an 8-day search across the area that included boats, divers, and aerial scans, but nothing turned up. Just a few days into what was meant to be a dream trip, Colleen's disappearance had transformed into a nightmare. Once the shark was found, at first, the identity of the body wasn't officially confirmed, but friends and family of Colleen were already bracing for the worst. A family friend, Kim, later confirmed that the body had been identified as Colleen's through fingerprint analysis. Even with the tragic confirmation though, one thing remained. Was her death the result of a diving accident, or was it a shark that killed her? The people who knew Colleen weren't buying the story that she was killed by a shark. Mike was adamant that Colleen didn't die in a shark attack, as were Kim and her husband Rick, both of whom were veteran divers who had run a dive shop together for 40 years. After reviewing Mike's dive computer, photos from the day, and anything else they could get their hands on, they were convinced the shark didn't kill her. It may have scavenged her body later, but it didn't cause her death. To them, everything pointed to an undetected medical issue that Colleen must have suffered during the dive. Kim, who said she had completed more than 1,000 dives with Colleen over the years, pointed out that sharks have incredibly acidic stomachs. They've evolved to break down cartilage and bone quickly. If Colleen had really been inside that shark for more than a week, her body would have been unrecognizable, but it wasn't. Her wetsuit was still intact and her fingerprints were still there. That just didn't line up with what's known about how sharks digest their food. And so to Colleen's family and friends, it was important to set the record straight and protect her legacy in some way. She wouldn't have wanted people to fear sharks because of what happened to her, and she certainly wouldn't have wanted a false story about how she left this world. In 2024, there were just 47 confirmed unprovoked shark bites reported across the entire world, which was the lowest number in nearly 30 years. And when it comes to fatal encounters, the numbers get even smaller. And to further put the chances into perspective, you're nearly 700 times more likely to be stung to death by hornets, bees, or wasps. And the global odds of dying in a shark attack currently sit at 1 in 28 million. For comparison, your odds of getting struck by lightning in your lifetime are about 1 in 15,000. So when Colleen's remains were found mostly intact after what would have been more than a week inside the animal, the conclusion was obvious to the people closest to Colleen. The shark may have been what found her, but it wasn't the shark that killed her. As of this video, the case of Colleen's death appears to still be under investigation. But with all of that said, even in the case that she wasn't attacked by a shark, and although shark attacks are exceptionally rare, that doesn't make them any less horrifying. When most people daydream about their next vacation, the mental images that usually come up are of sandy beaches, quiet resorts, and maybe a relaxing sightseeing tour. That's not exactly what Mark had in mind in 2005 when he booked a holiday that would have had most people preferring to remain behind in the safety of the office. The 32-year-old from England didn't fly all the way to South Africa for the beaches, wine tours, or the safaris. Instead, Mark had signed up to drop himself into a metal cage in the ocean that would be lowered into shark-infested waters. In March of that year, he arrived in the port town of Hermanus near Cape Town, which is famous for its whale watching excursions, but it's also one of the best places in the world to get an up-close look at great white sharks. On the morning of the dive, conditions were just about as perfect as anyone could have hoped for, and within minutes after departing Hermanus, the vessel arrived at the dive site and the crew began preparing the cage and chumming the surrounding waters in hopes of attracting any nearby sharks. And by the way, chumming the water means throwing bait in the water, like meat, fish remains, and blood. This apparently worked incredibly well because Mark wasn't even in the water yet when a couple of smaller sharks were spotted cruising near the surface. Then, without warning, a massive great white appeared, cutting through the water toward the now submerged cage before veering off and bypassing it. The captain estimated that it was about 18 feet or 5 meters, which was just slightly smaller than the boat itself. Turning back to Mark, the captain asked the obvious question of whether he still wanted to go down there. Mark apparently didn't miss a beat when he replied that he didn't come all the way not to do it. Handing his video camera off to another tourist, Mark climbed into the 8 by 3 foot or 2.5 by 1 meter cage and lowered himself into the water. This is typically a controlled, safe way to get up close and personal to these massive sharks. However, Mark had just barely gotten his bearings in the water when the great white shark returned, and this time it wasn't just passing through. The massive shark began circling the boat like it was working out a plan. Twice it looped around, then it lunged, ramming the side of the cage hard enough to rattle Mark inside. At first, Mark thought this was all normal. After all, he was in a stainless steel cage and the whole point was to get close to the sharks. But then the great white bit down on the bars, shaking the cage so violently that it made Mark feel like an ant in a jar. And with every crunch of the shark's jaws, the stainless steel cage felt a little less reassuring. Then one of the buoys keeping the cage afloat apparently popped under the force of a strike and the metal began to bend inward. The shark's attention then shifted to the open top of the cage, which let divers climb in and out, forcing Mark to stay low. Now, one of his many problems at that moment was that he wasn't on any kind of breathing apparatus. He was only wearing a mask, so every few seconds he'd have to dodge the shark and surface for air. Each time he did, he heard the passengers on the boat above screaming in panic, but Mark would continually return to the bottom of the cage, believing this was all part of the experience. As this was all going on, the captain was trying to distract the shark, and at one point he apparently began striking it on the top of its head with an iron pole, but the blows only seemed to agitate the situation even more. Then, because of the popped buoy, the cage began to sink, and that's when Mark realized his two options were to stay under and risk drowning or head back to the surface and risk being eaten. Given that he actually didn't really have a choice because he would drown if he didn't surface, he quickly made his move, again swimming to the top of the cage, and this time out of the opening before surfacing. He then reached for the captain's outstretched hand and grabbed it. One slip and he would have fallen right into the shark's gaping mouth. Somehow though, he made it onto the deck with his heart pounding and every limb still accounted for. This all happened in the span of just minutes, but Mark got the store he flew all the way for. For anyone watching from the boat that day, it would have been easy to label the shark as a bloodthirsty killing machine. And to be fair, the footage of it thrashing against the cage didn't exactly help its public image, but conservationists and shark experts see it differently. Experts believe what happened to Mark wasn't an attempted feeding so much as a case of what they call mouthing. This is a combination of curiosity and testing its environment. In other words, the shark may have been investigating the strange metal intruder in its space, not trying to make Mark its lunch. Mark's story, however, seemed to contradict that, and he wasted little time in sharing it. Once back on dry land, he didn't seem shaken so much as exhilarated, and the media rushed to hear what he had to say. In interviews, he recalled the experience as a thrill and even went on to say it was the best thing he ever did. Facing a great white head-on, having it attack the cage, and walking away to tell of it was that once-in-a-lifetime story Mark was looking for from his vacation. But the story didn't just make headlines, it also caused some trouble. The company that organized the trip sued Mark and several media outlets in the aftermath for sensationalizing what really happened. They claimed his account had been exaggerated in a way that hurt their business. The captain, they said, had no memory of hitting the shark with an iron pole, and there was never a point where Mark was fighting for his life. According to them, the cage was fixed securely to the boat and was never in any danger of sinking, and the shark had only bitten through a fender, which was not uncommon when chum is in the water. Mark, however, stood by his version of the story, pointing to photographs and footage taken that day. One image in particular apparently showed the cage mangled after the encounter. This was visual proof, he argued, that this wasn't just a harmless brush with a mouthing great white shark. There was even another piece of footage that showed how close Mark had come to losing an arm. In any case, for most people, a run-in with a great white shark would be the kind of experience that ends any future plans involving open water, but Mark wasn't most people. When asked if he'd ever go into a cage to face a great white shark again, Mark confidently stated that he would. As you're probably aware, there's no such thing as a white snowy Christmas in Argentina. Its location in the southern hemisphere means the country experiences its summer during the month of December, and in 2013, there was no escaping the heat of the season. The city of Rosario sits about 300 kilometers north of Buenos Aires and was in the grips of a brutal heat wave. In fact, early on Christmas morning, temperatures were already soaring to another day in excess of 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 Celsius. And while Christmas traditions generally include exchanging presents, very few in and around Rosario could think of a better gift than a day in the cool waters of the Paraná River. People from all around flocked there, and by mid-morning, both the banks and the muddy waters were packed with those looking for a little relief from the climbing heat. Families clustered on the sands as kids shrieked and splashed in the water. These sounds of relief and fun, however, quickly turned into screams of absolute terror as midday approached. At first, these were isolated, but within moments, the number of people shouting in full-throated screams of pain and fear had spread. Swimmers in the water then thrashed toward the shore as those on land tried to make sense of what was going on. Some of those who were in the water were clutching their hands or limping on injured feet as they left thin trails of blood behind them in the brown water. In the shallows, parents waded in without hesitation to grab their children and drag or carry them back to the safety of the banks. This all happened within just a few brief moments, from the first sign of fear to the chaos of confusion that followed. As dozens of people who had been in the river when the screaming started began to take stock of their injuries, what happened that morning came into view. Jagged chunks were missing from some swimmers, while others lost parts of their fingers or toes. These were the undeniable signs of a sudden and violent piranha feeding frenzy. The culprits, as it would turn out, were a species known as palomeras. They're a large, aggressive member of the piranha family, known for razor-sharp teeth and a bite that can shear through flesh in an instant. They're not the mindless man-eaters of horror movies, but when they strike in numbers, the effect can be devastating. That Christmas morning, they swarmed on the swimmers in the Paraná River, and by the time it was over, more than 70 people had been injured. At least 20 of them were children, and 7 of them lost parts of their fingers or toes. One girl even had the tip of a finger bitten clean off. These attacks came in rapid bursts, with the fish disappearing as quickly as they appeared, only to re-emerge a few feet away. Even people who thought they'd escaped with a single bite found themselves stuck again before they could even make it out of the water. And for parents trying to pull their children to safety, every second in the shallows felt like an eternity. Now, in Rosario, piranha bites aren't unheard of. The Paraná River is home to plenty of carnivorous fish, and now and then, a swimmer will come away with a small wound. This was something else entirely, though. The city's emergency services director said in his decades on the job, he had never seen so many people injured in such a short span of time. Just a few years earlier in 2008, 40 swimmers were hurt in a similar palomino attack, but this one nearly doubled that, and the scale of the injuries was far more severe. After things had settled down, why it happened became the big question, and the answer isn't entirely clear. The most obvious explanation is thought to be the weather. With Rosario in the midst of a punishing heat wave, thousands of people had flocked to the river for relief, and more bodies in the water meant more opportunities for contact with the fish. The heat also apparently changes the behavior of the palominos themselves. Officials said the unusually warm waters brought the fish closer to the surface, where they were more likely to encounter swimmers. Warmer water also apparently speeds up their metabolism, making them more aggressive feeders. Simultaneously, some locals claim that human activity upriver acted as bait, or discarded fish parts from nearby fishermen may have lured the palominos to the area. Others suggested a combination of factors including scarce natural food sources, environmental stress, and a sudden abundance of slow-moving prey splashing at the surface. But whatever the reason, that morning the conditions just seemed to be perfect for an aggressive feeding frenzy. Piranhas belong to a group of freshwater fish found throughout South America's rivers, lakes, and floodplains. Exactly how many species is still debated, as some scientists say fewer than 30 and others put the number in excess of 60, but all of them share the same unmistakable dental design. They all have tightly packed rows of razor-sharp teeth made for consuming and tearing apart flesh. Their reputation as mindless killers, however, is exaggerated, but it's not entirely without basis. Most of the time, piranhas are opportunistic omnivores, eating smaller fish, insects, plant matter, and the occasional carcass. They don't typically go after humans unless they're provoked, food is scarce, or environmental conditions like low water levels or high temperatures push them to be more aggressive. The Christmas Day 2013 incident was a rare reminder of what these fish are capable of under the right conditions. The Kali River runs between India and Nepal, cutting through steep valleys and dense jungle before joining the Ghaghara River. And for the people who live along its banks, the river is both a lifeline and a danger. It provides water, fish, and transport, but it also has a reputation for strong currents and hidden hazards beneath the surface. Among those hazards is one fish that's earned a darker reputation than most, something known as the ughhh catfish. Locals call it the giant devil catfish, and it's not hard to see why. Ughhh catfish are bottom dwellers that can grow to more than 6 feet or 2 meters long and weigh in excess of 150 pounds or 68 kilos, making them some of the largest freshwater catfish in the world. And they aren't picky eaters either. Fish, frogs, small mammals, pretty much anything that adds to the water is on the menu. What really sets these fish apart in local legend, though, is the idea that some of these fish may have developed a taste for human flesh. Along stretches of the river, it's common for funeral pyres to be set up on the river banks. Tradition calls for releasing ashes and sometimes half-burnt human remains into the water. And over time, some villagers came to believe that this practice gave the ughhh an unusual source of food, encouraged them to grow larger than normal and bolder than expected. By the late 1990s, stories began circulating of ughhh that weren't just scavenging anymore. Instead, they were attacking. The first recorded incident happened in April of 1998. A 17-year-old boy named Dill was swimming in the Kali River when something grabbed him. Eyewitnesses, including a friend who was with him in the water, watched in shock as Dill was pulled under in an instant. The search that followed covered more than 5 kilometers of the river over 3 days, but tragically, no trace of him was ever found. Then, only a few months later, another tragedy struck. In a small village, a young boy was swimming near his father when he was suddenly dragged under in the same way. His father could only watch, powerless, as his son disappeared beneath the surface, and once again, no body was ever recovered. For almost a decade, the river stayed quiet until 2007, when an 18-year-old Nepalese man vanished while swimming in nearly the same stretch of water. Villagers described the creature responsible as a mud-covered water pig, a phrase that captured just how strange and out of place it seemed. So this meant 3 disappearances occurred, spread out over 9 years, all within a 6-kilometer section of river. The similarities were impossible to ignore as bodies were dragged under in plain sight with no remains ever found. This left locals convinced that something unusual was lurking in the Kali. News of these strange attacks eventually caught the attention of Jeremy Wade, a British biologist and angler who had built a reputation on tracking down freshwater giants. You might be familiar with Jeremy as his Discovery television show River Monsters thrived on them, but the idea of a fish dragging people under and leaving no remains was on another level. And at first, he was skeptical. The Kali River, after all, is home to crocodiles, and India's coastline isn't far from where bull sharks have been known to travel upriver. Natural hazards like whirlpools also couldn't be ruled out. Still, the details didn't quite fit those explanations. The water in the northern stretch of the Kali was too cold for one species called mugger crocodiles, and saltwater crocodiles didn't travel that far inland. The gharial, another native species, also had jaws that were far too narrow to tackle something as large as a human. Bull sharks, again, were still a possibility, but none had ever been seen in that part of the river, and whirlpools didn't explain why victims vanished in relatively calm waters. But when Jeremy visited the villages along the river, he heard the same story again and again. It wasn't just a crocodile or shark. It was the ughhh, according to locals. The fish had grown massive from years of feeding on funeral remains, and some believed one particular specimen had turned into a man-eater. Now, Jeremy had heard plenty of tall tales in his career, but this one was consistent enough and chilling enough that he decided to investigate it for himself. He began in a section of the Kali River where the attacks had taken place. Using sonar equipment, he first ruled out the idea of whirlpools or strong eddies pulling swimmers under. The riverbed was relatively flat and calm in the areas where victims had disappeared, making that explanation unlikely. Soon after making this measurement, Jeremy heard about a water buffalo that had been dragged underwater while drinking at the river's edge, in water only about 3 feet or 1 meter deep. For an animal of that size to vanish so quickly, the predator had to have weighed at least 200 pounds or 91 kilos, in Jeremy's estimation. That meant something much larger than a typical fish was in play. So one by one, Jeremy began ruling out the usual suspects, the various crocodiles and sharks. That left only the ughhh. And in fact, during underwater dives afterward, Jeremy and his team spotted several of the massive catfish. Some of them were even as long as men and thick-bodied enough to make the idea of an attack seem possible. These weren't the typical bottom-feeding catfish most people imagine. They were predators in their own right, and if one had grown big enough and bold enough, it could explain the mysterious disappearances. So, Jeremy set up a dummy funeral pyre near the riverbank, hoping to lure one in. It was a grim tactic, but it made sense. If the fish had learned to associate pyres with food, the plan could draw one out. After hours of waiting and several failed attempts, Jeremy finally hooked onto something massive. The fight afterward was unlike anything he'd experienced before. The fish pulled hard against the line, thrashing in the current with surprising strength, and at one point Jeremy had to jump into the river himself to stop it from escaping. When he finally hauled it to the shore, the creature was revealed. It was indeed a ughhh weighing 160 pounds or 72.5 kilos, stretching more than 5 feet or 1.5 meters long. Then the next day he caught an even larger one, this one coming in at 5 feet 7 inches or 1.7 meters in length and tipping the scales at 161 pounds. This was nearly 3 times the size of an average ughhh. Both fish were record-breaking examples of the species and proof that the river really did harbor giants. But even with the catches, Jeremy was cautious. As big as they were, he wasn't convinced either of them was an actual man-eater. An animal of that size could take a child for sure, but the victims had been teenagers and adults. That suggested there might be an even larger fish still hidden in the river's depths. In the end, Jeremy's investigation didn't find anything larger. He had caught massive ughhh catfish that were big enough to prove that the river held extraordinary examples of the species, but not so massive that they could easily account for dragging down grown men. Still, the possibility couldn't be dismissed. If a ughhh could reach 160 pounds on a diet of ordinary river food, what might happen if one had decades of feeding on human funeral remains? Villagers were convinced that such a monster existed, and Jeremy himself admitted that larger individuals could still be lurking in the Kali River. So today, the case of the 3 attacks remains unsettled, particularly because no bodies were ever recovered to study. If you made it this far, thanks so much for watching. If you have a story suggestion, feel free to submit it to the forum found in the description. Also, if you want to support the channel, consider joining the Patreon or becoming a channel member here on YouTube. Anyways, thanks again, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.
Sheriff's office, come outside with your hands up! Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Turn around! Turn around! Where's your gun at?
You got hands? You got hands?
You're gonna be detained.
Is there anybody else in the house?
What you are watching is body cam footage recorded by the Marion County Sheriff's Office. In the footage, deputies can be seen slapping cuffs onto 58-year-old Susan Lawrence. 20 minutes earlier, Susan called 911 to report that she shot a woman banging on her door.
Oh my God, this lady just tried to break down my door. I shot through the door. Oh my God.
You said someone tried to break down your door, is that correct?
Yes, the woman was screaming and yelling and she was trying to break down my door. And I told her to get away and she wouldn't. She just kept begging
Deputies then escorted Susan to the back of a police cruiser.
Here, I gotta sit you in the back here. Okay, you just sitting there. Hey, I need someone give her aid right there. She needs medical aid over there. Sit inside. I need you all the way inside.
I need help though.
Okay.
I have a bad back.
I need you to hurry though, okay? I understand you need help.
Other first responders rushed to the victim, 35-year-old mother of four, Ajika A.J. Owens.
Here, move. She's got a pulse. Move. She does. Here,
Yeah,
she's got a pulse. Where's the gunshot wound? Here.
It's here. Oh my God.
She says she has a pulse.
No exit. Yes.
The bullet struck the right side of her chest and wound up in her left abdomen wall, which is why there was no exit wound.
We've had cops on this fucking woman for fucking ever. Fucking imagine if this was our kids.
Eventually, the EMTs arrived, so the police focused on properly securing the scene. They started by clearing Susan's apartment. Her door had a single bullet hole, and in her bedroom trash can, they found the .380 caliber handgun that was used. After clearing the apartment, their next task was to interview any witnesses.
Hey, there's a little boy by my car. He's the one that was the primary witness.
Okay.
The little boy he is referring to is AJ's son, Izzy, who was with AJ at the time of the shooting.
I went to go get it. I said, give me my iPad because she dropped it, tried to throw the skates at me. And then,
All right, bud. Give me a minute. Just hang out by my car, okay?
Izzy was clearly in a state of panic and was struggling to explain what happened. But another man had just come outside after hearing the commotion and was better at articulating the events.
The kids were playing outside earlier, right? And one of the little kids, he left his iPad on the ground. And I guess the old white lady that shot the lady, she grabbed his iPad and she threw a roller skate at him. And she came out with the umbrella too and was trying to swing at him or some shit like that. And the only thing I heard was her knocking on the door pretty loud, right? Who was knocking on the door? The lady that got shot, right?
AJ was loaded into an ambulance and was rushed to the nearest hospital, but it was too late. She succumbed to her injuries and was pronounced dead. A relative of AJ's had the difficult task of telling her sons that she had just passed.
Today has been a very bad day. Y'all love me? Okay. Y'all love Mom? All right. Well, I got some bad news to tell you. Mom is not coming back anymore. Come. No. Come here. Come over here. Listen to me. No, I know. Okay. It's okay. I know. Okay. I know. I'm sorry.
Her youngest son couldn't stop crying as he processed the tragic news.
I hate her. She's in jail for good.
Susan was transported to the Marion County Sheriff's Office for an interview, led by Detective Ryan Stith.
I would like to get your side of things and try to understand what exactly happened tonight.
The neighbors were out there screaming, yelling. The kids were running back and forth. I came outside and the three boys were there. I'm like, guys, you're trespassing. Come on, out of here. And he's like, I want this and I want that and fuck you and fuck this. I'm like, oh, okay, little big kids, because they're all really young. And I'm like, guys, come on, leave. And I didn't want to go any further because he's like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. I'm like, what in the world?
Who said that?
AJ's kids. And then they were like, I'm going to tell my mom. I'm like, go tell your mom. I don't care,
Although Susan claimed that she didn't care if the kids involved their mother, the detective wondered if she actually wanted AJ to confront her because she planned on shooting her.
I'm like, kids, go home. So they go home, and then all of a sudden she comes out, and she is just banging on my door. I'm like, go away. I'm not dealing with you tonight. And then she started banging so hard, everything started shaking. And then she said, I'm going to fucking kill you. And she's just banging away. It looked like my door was going to fly off. And I panicked. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's really going to kill me this time, And so I don't even actually remember picking up the gun. I just remember shooting.
Throughout the interview, the detectives tried to get Susan to be more specific about the shooting. But Susan just kept on repeating that she feared for her life. So without thinking, she grabbed the gun and shot it.
I really feared for my life. And this woman just keeps antagonizing me. She's got the kids calling me. I go on, they're like, hey, Karen. I'm like, I have a doctoral degree. Do not talk to me like I am one of your peers.
So they don't really have any respect
No respect. And
have you had problems with him before?
Oh my God, yes.
It turns out that deputies were already very familiar with Susan. Over the past 2 years, Susan called the police over 5 times in an ongoing battle against the rest of the neighborhood. But during each visit, the deputies always found discrepancies in Susan's stories. The first questionable interaction took place on February 25th, 2022, when Susan made a frantic 911 call claiming that she was attacked by one of her neighbors.
The lady across the street on the phone hit me with a sign. Her children were walking their dog on the property. It clearly says no trespassing. I'm very quiet. I don't bother anyone. I work at home. I do insurance. And the kids are screaming and yelling. And so it's very hard for me. And this is my apartment here. I just can't hear my clients. Okay. That's not fair to me.
Yeah, I understand that.
Right to have peaceful and quiet enjoyment.
I understand.
She said that when she told the kids to leave, they got their mother involved, who ended up assaulting her. Apparently, once the mom got involved, she picked a fight and threw Susan's no trespassing sign right at her.
I'm sorry, my heart's thumping.
No, you're fine,
I just didn't know she was going to actually get physical with me. That's ridiculous.
She just threw it?
No, she whipped it at me. Okay. I mean,
Susan showed the deputy her leg, but he couldn't see any visible injury.
Yes, I would like to press charges.
The deputies went to the mother's house to get her side of the story. It was AJ, the victim from the beginning of this video.
It's funny because I'm the one that never comes outside and says anything to her. So we have a dog. My kids take the dog out. The other day she tells my son, I'm going to have you arrested and you're going to jail. He's 8, so he's terrified. He won't even walk the dog anymore.
Just let her know all that.
And so I go over there. This is my private property. They can't have the dog over here. I told her, first of all, he's not on your property. He's on this side. You don't own it.
What AJ is saying is that Susan is upset about the kids trespassing on this field beside her house. However, not all of this field is Susan's property. Only half of this field is considered her property, while the other half belongs to her neighbor.
She went and bought a little private property sign. I picked the sign up and I threw the sign. I literally picked the sign up and as I walked off, I threw the sign. I said, I can go and buy a sign too. It still doesn't mean anything. I guess she's already on the phone and I'm being attacked. Someone's attacking me. I'm literally in the street now proceeding to come over here.
The deputies reconvened on the side of the road to figure out how to handle the situation. Since there was no evidence to corroborate Susan's side of the story, they agreed that the so-called attack was just an accident.
Yeah, she said she just threw it behind her and she doesn't know if it hit her.
However, they couldn't agree on whether or not the kids had actually trespassed.
Public property. You can't.
Where?
I mean, it's not hers though.
So if you saw her on this property and she said I wanted to trespass, you wouldn't trespass her?
That's my thing. It's like
that's not the law. You don't do that and something happens and you're supposed to trespass her, that's on you.
They went back to AJ and told her that there wouldn't be any repercussions for throwing the sign, but warned her to keep her kids off of Susan's property. Clearly, tensions between Susan and the rest of the community were already rising, and just 6 months later, on August 10th, 2022, Susan called the police again. Apparently, the neighborhood kids were back to their old ways, terrorizing her all day.
Kids keep running back and forth over here. For some reason, they love to play over here.
Probably because it's open.
I understand that. I have migraines, horrible migraines. I had a very bad car wreck, had my neck fused. I need more back surgery. I don't want to hear these children. Most days I could barely stand. I don't want to be intimidated by them screaming and yelling at me, telling me I'm a bitch, calling me Karen. I'm not trying to be a bitch, but, it's not fun.
The problem with Susan's story during this encounter is that she had no proof that the children were harassing her or trespassing on her property. So there was nothing the deputies could do for her. At this point, the deputies were beginning to realize how unreliable Susan's stories were. A few months later, on November 19th, 2022, Susan called the police again, accusing the local kids of further harassment. Rather than wasting their time going to her house, one of the deputies spoke to her over the phone.
They've actually banged on the door so hard they broke the casing around the door. They're screaming at me. They come up to me and just scream like idiots. I lost my nerve today. I just couldn't take it anymore. I called the kids. Then the mother comes screaming at me, "Don't call my children. I'm going to put you in a nursing home." I don't bug anybody. I'm a single woman. I work from home. I'm peaceful and quiet. I'm like the perfect neighbor. Is there anything I can do with these people?
Since there was never any proof to back up Susan's claims, it was always her word against theirs. The deputy told her this and offered her some sound advice.
The one thing I would say is if you have a smartphone or anything like that, or if you have outside cameras, getting it all recorded and documented That way, when we do come there, it's not the neighbors, oh, he said, she said type thing.
Susan followed this advice and purchased 2
No. No. Oh my god. Mary's like one of the really core raiders, right? I think Mary did the conqueror of Ankiraj. Am I tripping actually? Let's find Mary by name. Why did they? Let me see the. Suicide. What? Wait, when did it happen? Okay, damn it. Mary. I might be confusing with, or I might not. This is really bad. Let me see. Check my history. I might be thinking of different Mary, but I'm pretty sure this is one of the core raiders. Let me see if I'm right. Yeah. Alright. They're not in the guild anymore. Cannot see. Damn it. I think Mary. Sailors. I mean the fact, I guess the fact that everybody's here must be like, yeah, what? 5 out of 10. Right, you can do. I'll be arrested, man. Yeah. Yeah, true. I was thinking about this, about making a bunch of these and just whenever I'm like doing whatever, like inside the water, like when I was going for this one, I was thinking like, should I don't have it learned, but should I get that? Like, and then perhaps if I get it's down there. If I get a disconnect, I will still have time. Yeah, 30 minutes. Yeah, definitely. My internet would probably come back, and then this is such a tragedy. Supercharger. What is that? Should I get rid of that? Mage wave, just one. No way. It's holding hostage bags. That's 260s. Where's the other one? 3? I mean, damn. Damn it. Mary. I don't know. I might, you know, there was during the OnlyFans there was a Mary, but that was Mary maybe, I think. But I think this is also like Raider, Co-Raider Mary. I think Mary. This is Mary. Let me see if there is another. Mary. No. Yeah, I don't know. Damn it. It really sucks, guys. With these gorillas, if I had a two-handed weapon, I could probably pull 4 of them and like sweeping strikes them. Because multiple pulls might make this easier. I might have to do that in the future. Like if I want to level like to perhaps 55 here, I will have to get a two-hander. This is the sad reality of hardcore. There's nothing you can do. You can like F's in the chat and life goes on, except for the person who died. That's kind of scary for me. That's why I don't want to die. It's really the worst part for me, to be honest. Because like everybody else keeps going, and especially if you are like progressing with them and you're all at certain gear and then you just get pulls from under your feet. Let's get to 53 real quick and then we can do some funny business. We're gonna find some interesting items together. Does Mary have a backup char? Yeah, that's another thing. Should I level like my rogue right after this? If you're like a late listener or whatever and you get to this part, should I like put all my time into this one or start leveling my rogue immediately, and then after I get the bow to 60 I can like double play? I guess I will like focus on one being the main, but like have the other one, you know, like not useless. Like get them what is it, Shadowcraft, and you know, I know rogues, you know, like what they want, what they need. I'm kind of hyped with the new rogue spec. I want to try it out, to be honest. I've heard good good things, and those are as early as level 30, I think. You can already start feeling it even before level 30. And as a rogue, I can get to level 30 in like 2 days, probably. I can show off to you, definitely. But I might need to remake my rogue, not to be slow and steady. This is starting to be a problem. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's true. See? It's like, what do I do? Seriously, what to do? This snapper selfish. This is so annoying. Am I missing? No, it's not the crystal vial problem. It's another problem. I'll not make the big one. And yeah, missing Grom's blood. So this and was I keeping anything? I mean, 47 grifters. Damn it! I think I like deleted. I had really good like a line of rogue gear, but my bank was getting full, and I deleted it all. Yeah, yeah. This is the remainder. I had like everything was rogue. If I remember correctly, I might be wrong completely. But this is how I remember it. Let's see what we have. Where's the other? I'm gonna put this here. This is Grumman's blood. Great. Come on, Wicked Claw. Let's see something else. Cutgar's Whisper. Okay. Do you have anything else? Usable. No. I'll put this fish. Yeah, I'll put this one and these. Okay. I'm good now. If the world buff just drops, that would be great. Save it. Save it. Mm. What? Wait. This is a nice guy. Okay, I'm making 3 of these. Can make no, I can do that. I can do make. One. This, and I'll give you this, and I can give you some booze. Nice guy. I think soon I can make him an interesting potion with stone skill eels. Did he? He did trade me stone skill eels. That's crazy. I don't know where he got them. Blast lens. Oh, I was just there. Damn, for real? Wow. Can't you kill like Eastern? Or Oh, I lost my sage. I guess I spent some time yapping. Mm. This is a real nice donation. It's gonna give me some skills, possibly, and okay, we're finishing it up. I'm glad I don't have to drink. They drink? No, okay. Okay, that's good. I can actually make. Let me see. Okay, I'm good with sungrass. I got those at Blast Lines. And I can get to a point where I can make like a bunch of these, but they're agility and I'm not really a rogue. So I'd rather make these but I'm missing Ground's blood. Let me see, DP. Sorry, I cannot type in the dark. Okay, so Fellwood. Okay, but Blasted Lands is also really not that bad. And another thing is slash mark DB. See, I miss everything. So Grab. Okay, so I guess the biggest, actually here's the biggest crossover is the Blasted Lands. It seems for them, even though Shara is like. Goblin rocket. Oh, the recipe. Yeah. The recipe is crafted by Goblin. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Let me see. Goblin rocket fuel recipe. Yeah. Created by. Got the rum. Carbon. Oh, okay. So he is what? Where's my friend? I think I cannot go to Discord right now, but it's like they stopped. Well, I don't need it personally, man. How many did I give them? Was it 100? Hero is not a regular player. Yeah, well, so is not the Fisher Roadmaster, but still, will not. I'll need to make herbal salt. I mean, well, I know for what end. To what end? What is the one that well, I don't have this one, to be honest, but What was it? Yep, never mind. I wonder why I'm not getting any, like, I remember leveling here so many times on my normies, but I knew recipes. BL. BL. What? B Oh, blessed. Level up. Am I missing anything? No. Oh, yeah. This is why you don't alt tab. Guys, please. Just don't do it. I'm gonna wreck See, if I freaking didn't move my battery, I would have just batteried. I'm a crazy person. I'm so lucky I did that. Wow. Actually crazy. See? I was about to do Shift R for this stupid thing. God damn it. 60%. I mean, to be honest, I think I do have like what are they? Damn it, come on. Free respects, so I can switch. This is kind of, it's more likely a jumping point for this, so I should have gotten this first and then switched to this. But yeah. Increased critical chance for overpower. I mean, yeah, I stance a lot, but the Fury spec should be like a bunch of rage, so if you're like rage starved, you're doing something wrong. I don't know. Critical strike chance. How strong is my overpower? This is good for. Okay. No, he went often. Where are the guildies saying nothing? I mean, anyone want to do the challenge? Yeah. Challenge. Yeah. Challenge is interesting quest. It was strike. Yeah, I mean this spell is good for a two-hand weapon. Pretty much because increase the critical strike damage bonus of your abilities. So this is really good by 10%. Okay. I mean it's not really good. That's not a good word. It's like what should I get after this? So like increase I guess I'll increase this and like preserve some rage and then like get some more power into like overpower, blah blah blah, get a little bit of damage into, like the wounds. It's not nothing is really big. But some people like to do like a two-handed fury for fury, sorry. So they get rid of this one and they go for this, I guess, or area effect and duration. Yeah, not duration, probably area, probably this one. Oh, damn it. Anyway, let's see. Addition. Yeah, this is good. This is a ammo. Apparently, this might have been a mistake on my part. This one. Or not. I'm not sure. because people are not really into whirlwind. I think. Not sure. I need to like reject people's talents. What are mine? I need 15 points anyways, so it doesn't matter what's like order. Like if I were to say like I'll take this and then next level I get this. It's not like that. It's I can take two and then I'll still need to take one, and then I'll have enough. So like I can like comfortably go with this. And the next level I'll also do another one of those. See, because it's not about the 3 points. It's about having 15. So my buffs have run out. Let me check out this roll for a sec. Okay. Nice. Okay, so let's do a little bit of brainstorming. Are we ready? Okay, I'm here. How do we want to proceed with this? We want to check my OBS to see how this will look. I'm gonna close most of everything, and then I'm gonna close this. Yeah, I don't need any of this. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, no. Okay, we'll need only this. And I can take. I guess this is okay. Let me see. Yep, this is the one. Okay. Are we good? Previous scaling, screen, transform, edit. No. Blending mode, scale. Windowed. No. Screenshot. It's okay. I don't care. I'm very much sharing my screen with you, so we can. Let me see if everything is going all right. Okay, let's brainstorm now. So I will teach you how to find the best items. This is for like my 5 viewers who watch me. I'll show you how to do it. So you go like this. We'll open up a paint. Okay, let's close this one. Close window. Or actually, let's new. Done. Save. Okay. We got paint ready. And yeah, paint is gonna be here. So we will go like this. So personally, when you hit 60, you're gonna want to do this. To get this weapon first. This is your first ever weapon. I've already done the 2 chains. So this starts from this and this starts from this. And this starts from weird. This is a mob in Ratchet, the goblin that patrols, and he will send you to a little mountain close to Ratchet. You will explore, kill some sea cars, and then wait until you're like level 40. And then you can talk to a guy in Gadget Zone. I don't know if you... yeah, so this person. She will send you to a crash that was here. And she will send you to kill ogres, where? I think here somewhere, yeah, here. Get like 12 brains. And then, sorry, I was checking for world buff. And then you return. You get one of these two, I got this. I think that I sold it. I don't know if I streamed that whole thing. But in the end, you will, at level 60, you will get this. They will send you the rain person. The rain person is in Eastern Plaguelands. How can I say this? One sec. Okay. So, Eastern Plaguelands, the church will send you to Chromie. Chromie will send you to another Chromie, which is in Hinterlands. See, not here, sorry, she's in Hinterlands. And you will just watch something like Don't Interrupt It. You will get a free sword, which is as strong as the Dalrens. And when you finish that, you will get this thing, and then you can do Black Morris if you want, kill this guy, and you can get one of these. For some classes it's really good. For me it's meh, it's like something. For hunters, as you can see, it's pretty good hit rating. For rogues, as you can see, it's pretty nice. A bit stealth is whatever. It doesn't like take away from any other stats. And for casters, it's well, no spell power, not so good. And that's it. Those are the glasses that, but that's how you kind of that's an item that a lot of the people don't think about. So what we want to do is find the best combination of leveling, how do you say, like, sure, like this crazy knife, right? But 54 requires this. Felwood by any means necessary. Okay. Heart of Hazas. Hazas is an elite. He has millions of HP. See, that's how you kind of like, no. So you need something in between. See how much that was. That's pretty nice, actually. Some nice damage. And this is already going over to the territory where you're like, I can just do that. So we can conclude that nothing is really worth the time, pretty much. It's dangerous to go alone. Where is he right now? Let's see. Unlimited bases. Or actually, axes. Let's see the axes. What is that? 50. Okay, this one is doable. And we can get some of this perhaps. Let's check them out. Okay. Winter spring. Okay. It seems that it starts here. It seems a bit dangerous. It requires those rodlings, but other than that, what, like, chill wind. Yeah, those are not strong. That is doable. And then you return, you get this weapon. And we can talk about this one. Let's see what it is. Requires. Okay, this is what. Or both. Wait, did I click the same? Okay, both are horde. Okay, this is out of picture. Set them ablaze. This is requires. This is the Searing Gorge one. Yeah, this is doable. I've done this a few times. Symbol of Ragnaros. Yeah, this one is from the elites. Okay, this one is a bit annoying, but it's doable. I've done it. You get torch of retribution. I'm sorry, I'm bugging a bit. Wires, yeah, set them ablaze. And you get the X. Okay. The X is cool. I mean, is it stronger than what I have right now? I don't think so. But yeah. Let me check my character. No buff yet. What's the Kinto? Let's go patrol. Apparently. Let's see. Exiled warlord. That's interesting. Oh, this is actually really good. This is actually really good. I can, where am I? I'm close. I can go and, this, yeah, you're not seeing this. I can go and, investigate. Like, does he really exist? Abilities, yeah, nothing special. Damage. Okay. Okay, so he hits hard. Yeah, this needs a caster. Rarely. He's rare, okay. I know this. This is from Russia, I didn't know. That's wild. This is really good. I've seen this being sold. Maces. I have a really good mace. I want to be honest with you guys. What you want to do is do this. Like this. Leonhard. I would rather have full set, but it's really hard. A lot of people are wearing this right now, which I'm not sure what it is. But let's go to the one that we want to see. No, it was actually this one, right? The new and the old. This is not bad. And the old. Oh, that's hard. Okay. Cultures and foreigners. I've seen people with this too. I have no idea. But we're trying to explain to this because it looks really good. I forgot where was it from? So what you can do is you can get this set as a plate user, or I'm having trouble finding the set. I don't know why. Maybe they removed it from the database, but it's from the reputations of the high elves, and I'm just not seeing it. So my advice is to like let everything, like all the farms, all the BS that people are like saying, like, yeah, do this, do that. Just farm a bunch of rune cloth. If you got a good class, go to the scenario in camps where the texts drop, and you farm them there. I got like millions of stacks there saved, and you can do that and turn them in after you're done all the quests and get a full set. It's extremely good. It's gonna like overshadow anything that you can get from this stupid little like, oh, you get this, you get that. You're gonna get your hit rating, you know, like from other items. But yeah, you need a pass into the ring. You cannot expect to be let into raid with BS gear, because there's 20 other people with the same BS gear as you, and sometimes even better. They will farm savage gladiator chains, you know, everything. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about items like I've seen today. Which one? This. Sign of the Earth. Drop by black. Huh? Tremors of the Earth. Are these from the Arati Islands? Series. No. Badlands. Okay, let's see. Retrieve. Okay. And then what? Got this scrap metal. This from the ogres? Okay, so from the all the ogres, okay. You get some male boots, and then apparently let me read this open is this one. This one started elsewhere. Tremors of the Earth. Sign of the Earth. Let me see my... Oh, I got a buff. Let me switch to... Oh, the stormy buffs just dropped. Damn it. They dropped like 3 minutes. Both of them dropped like 3 minutes ago. Oof, that is rough. What do I do now? What was he gonna do? Let's go to Stormwind and take the Sage buff. And then we're gonna go to Blasted Lands, get some more of the steroids, the roids. And this thing here is this used to be like a level 40 twink. Yes. So you can get something like this. You can get, from what I know, I'll show you right now. Super easy cloak to get in oh, come on, where is it? Yeah, Deep River Cloak. This one is really good. It's in Winter Spring. Really good quest. You start it at Woodborough. You measure the temperature. You go there, speak to her, and then you like protect her from some ambush. Get a free cloak. You can go. Let's see. For cloth. I'm sad that I cannot show you. Let me switch to game. I'm gonna switch to game capture. So for tanks, you wanna firstly go to battle depths. You're gonna get a bunch of items that you're gonna need. First, this shield. So from the bosses, you can get a bunch of things. Every boss like drops something that you can use, especially this thing. You can even go for a dagger, you don't care. I mean, or actually no, I'm the first boss. But yeah, I mean, weapons with like I mean, you can go like for this, let's say, right? You can go for this. Who cares? You can go for a savage chain. It's pretty cool. You can go for this. I mean, a few melee items, like, you know, right? I think we are out of there. So let's check out some other things. The vault. That's from the, okay, that's from the little vault, okay. Okay, these are the waters. Yeah. So this is a caster healer tank dungeon mostly. See, you get this. This for healer. Okay, let's stand here for a few minutes. This is cool. I mean, this is cool. Good speed. Good looks. This is pretty cool. This is garbage. My stamina. Here. It's decent. Okay. This happens sometimes, but yeah, don't expect much from this. Some assume. Okay, this happens. This drops a lot. This drops sometimes. You can take this. This drops. It's whatever. You don't need it. You can take this as a rogue or a druid or a melee hunter or whatever. You can take this as a. Actually, don't take this. Maybe as a trade. Okay, now we're talking. You can take this as a red paladin, I guess. This is an item that you wanna take. Prince. She's useless, but this can be useful. And this is what you want. This is what you want. And this trinket. You wanna disclose. If you're a two-hander guy, you want this. If you're a hunter, you also kind of want this. Yeah, that's it. And then you have a dungeon that people say is a tank dungeon. So crazy thing, right? Apparently this place is like elite card. See, it's like River Breaker. It's like for torturing. It's pretty cool. The Reaper. It's a cool weapon. It's pretty fast. Drop some and another. See, this is the type of items that you want. So we can start off like this. What was the... Okay, so we are making a warrior tank. And oops. Okay. See this? Legs, feet, head, shoulders. What else? Oh, did we put gloves? Oh, the gloves even. Wow. Okay, so this is a deep broth. Chest. That's actually insane. The whole set is there. Guard captains. Chest in the middle. This is crazy. Actually crazy. Are we gonna get every single item here? We are rested. Let's not waste our time. Okay, let me check. I was gonna go for another neck, but it seems they provided us with one. Helmet. What? Trash? Wait, this cannot be right. Great. And then you get leggings as well. So what is the difference? Let's put them next to each other. See, that's interesting. There's a DOE like variation. For helmet it's the same, and even same, they have the same name, but for legs it's different. Trash maps. Okay. So now we wanna have this. Blacksmithing. Get this made. Oops. Okay. Shield. Can go for the stolen vault. Yeah, this is a good show. The one from Cars and 10 is better. Pickaxe, chest, wrist, neck. We want the cloak. We want the trinkets, right? So we're going back to PRT. I mean, I'm sorry. On the ring. Check out the cards encrypt. And check out that one. But it seems like a caster thing. Anyway, what would be another good ring? I remember something. Actually, I can go like this. Can switch. Let me get something so I can log off. Actually, I won't yet. Okay. Check my stream. What are we getting here? Probably not. Want some hit rating that you're gonna get. What is it? What is this? please. So it's gonna be phase 1, and then I'll show you. Actually,